How old is our solar system? This is a question that has puzzled scientists for centuries. We now know that the Sun is at the center of our solar system and that all the planets orbit around it. But how old is the Sun? And how old are the planets? This is Mirror. In this episode, we will wonder how the solar system came to be, how it ends, and what's in store in the future of humanity. The answer to this question is not as simple as it may seem. Scientists have to use a variety of techniques to determine the age of the Sun and the planets. One of these techniques is radiometric dating. Radiometric dating is a way of measuring the age of rocks and other materials by looking at the amount of radioactive isotopes they contain. The more radioactive isotopes a rock contains, the greater its age. So, using radiometric dating, scientists have determined that the Sun is around 4.6 billion years old. And the oldest rocks on Earth are around 4 billion years old. This means that the Earth and the Sun are about the same age. But how old are the other planets? Well, the answer to that question is a little more complicated. Scientists have found evidence that suggests that Mars is around 4.5 billion years old. And Jupiter is thought to be around 4.7 billion years old. But the age of Saturn is less certain. Some scientists believe that it is around 4.5 billion years old, while others believe that it is younger, around 4.4 billion years old. The age of Uranus and Neptune is even more uncertain. Some scientists believe that they are around 4.3 billion years old, while others believe that they are younger, around 4.2 billion years old. So, the age of our solar system is still a mystery. But, using the latest scientific techniques, scientists are slowly piecing together the puzzle and getting closer to an answer. The origin of our solar system is still a mystery to scientists, but there are several theories about how it might have formed. One theory suggests that a huge cloud of gas and dust, known as a nebula, collapsed in on itself, with the gravity of the collapsing material pulling more and more dust and gas into the center. As the material in the center became more and more dense, it began to heat up, and eventually formed our Sun. The rest of the material in the nebula began to orbit the Sun, and over time, this material coalesced into the planets and other bodies that make up our solar system. Another theory suggests that our solar system actually formed from the remnants of another star that exploded in a supernova. In this scenario, a star that was much more massive than our Sun, perhaps several times more massive, reached the end of its life and exploded. The resulting supernova would have blasted material out into space, and some of this material may have eventually ended up in our solar system, where it formed the Sun, planets, and other bodies. Another theory is the accretion theory, which suggests that the planets formed through the gradual accumulation of dust and rocks. This theory is supported by the fact that the planets in our solar system are made of the same materials as the Sun and other stars. A third theory is the collision theory, which suggests that our solar system formed when two or more stars collided and sent material flying into space. This theory is supported by the fact that the planets in our solar system are orbiting in the same direction. The truth is, we don't know for sure how our solar system formed. However, scientists are continuing to study the topic and hopefully we will one day have a definitive answer. What is the future of our solar system? This is a question that has been on the minds of scientists and astronomers for centuries. And while we don't have all the answers just yet, there are some things we know for sure. For starters, we know that our Sun will eventually die. It's been burning for billions of years and it's not going to last forever. In fact, scientists estimate that it has only about another 5 billion years left. The Sun is about halfway through its life. It's been shining for about 4.6 billion years, and it has about another 4.6 billion years to go. But even stars have a lifespan, and the Sun is no exception. So how will the Sun die? The Sun is a huge ball of gas. It's made mostly of hydrogen. The Sun turns hydrogen into helium in its core. This is how it produces energy. The Sun will shine for billions of years because it has a lot of hydrogen. But eventually, the Sun will run out of hydrogen. When that happens, the Sun will start to collapse in on itself. This will make the Sun's core get hotter and hotter. The Sun will get so hot that the hydrogen will start to fuse into helium. This will make the Sun get bigger and brighter. The Sun will become a red giant. Eventually, the Sun will be so big that it will swallow Earth. But before that happens, the Sun will eject its outer layers into space. This will leave behind a white dwarf. A white dwarf is a very dense star. It's about the size of Earth but has the mass of the Sun. The Sun will eventually cool down and become a black dwarf. Once our Sun dies, it will go through a process called gravitational collapse. This is where the Sun's gravity will cause it to implode in on itself. As it does this, the Sun will become incredibly hot and will start to emit a lot of radiation. This radiation will be so intense that it will actually start to vaporize the planets in our solar system. And that's just the fate of our Sun. What about the planets? While we know the fate of the terrestrial planets, the outer gas giants will continue to orbit the gravitational well left by the Sun. Later on, after the Sun uses up all its mass and is distinguished, the solar system's planets will be left as orphan planets in the cosmos. This might sound terrifying, but this won't happen for billions of years. So, we've got plenty of time to enjoy our beautiful solar system. And who knows, in the future, we may even find other solar systems to call home. Keep wondering.